His name is Akili Smith. He is one of the biggest surprises in college football. Akili's the nation's top-ranked quarterback, and because of his strong right arm, Oregon is unbeaten. But today, Smith is matched against the comeback kid, UCLA's Cade McNown. The Bruins have won a school record 14 games in a row. UCLA is soaring because of McNown. You are looking live at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. Two unbeaten teams averaging 98 points a game between them come together. It's Oregon, UCLA. Get your calculators ready, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome. With Dan Fouts and Jack Arute, I'm Brent Musburger. So nice to have you with us. There are so many subplots to this matchup here today. Let's start with the national championship implications. A UCLA win, they stay right on target for their goal. They want to reach Tempe, Arizona, and the national championship game on the night of January 4th. But if Oregon upsets the Bruins, then, folks, everything goes up in the air because the Ducks jump right into the middle of that championship fray. I'll tell you, Dan Fouts does not get any better than this one today.
And I know, Brent, you're going to tell me that defenses win championships, but I like offense, and this big crowd is here today to see two of the top offenses in the country in a shootout. Now, Oregon has scored early and often this season, while UCLA has shown the ability to come back in the second half to put teams away. This could be a 50-point dash today. The question is it the team that gets there first or the team that gets there second? Strap in, partner.
All right, we are ready to go. Two of the most attractive offenses in the country. The youngsters who will pull the trigger here today for Oregon and UCLA. Butterflies, tension. We'll be back. It's time to get it on at the Rose Bowl.
Coach, big game last week, and even bigger game this week. What is the emotional state of this team?
Well, every game is a big game, and each week it gets bigger. And this team's got a great attitude. They know what they have to do, and they'll be fired up and ready to play.
Guys?
All right, Jack, as Bob Toledo gets ready, here's a story. Chris Saylor, his All-American kicker, and you can watch him wince here in warm-ups. Suffered a freak injury in practice, kicking after practice with a television announcer, but Saylor's going to try it here, Dan.
And Brent, that was about a 40-yard field goal that he tried in that little clip there, and he obviously has pain in his groin. It's a hip flexor problem, but he's going to come out and he's going to kick off to start this ball game.
So Oregon wins the toss, and they say we'll take the football. Jason Cooper and Kevin Parker back deep on a glorious Saturday afternoon in Pasadena, California. You might recall a year ago these two teams played in that raw, cold, windy weather up in Eugene, and they scored 70 points that day, with UCLA winning at 39-31. So it's hard to imagine what they can put on the board in the sunshine. Have the neon bulbs ready as we are underway. A low line drive, high hopper. Cooper's got it at the 5, 15, 20. Alley for Jason. And Jason with a powerful return out to the 42-yard line. And here come the Ducks. They lead the Pac-10 in 5 of 8 offensive categories. The Chili's starting lineups. Ruben Drones, he's out of Anaheim High School. He carried the ball 39 times last week at Washington State. Now, of the 4 wide receivers we're going to see, Damon Griffin is Akili's go-to guy. Their offensive line is small but very smart. Marco Aguirre is one of 3 seniors anchoring that line as Akili Smith comes up with 1st and 10 and Drones set behind him. Play fake, short drop, complete the first pass. There's Griffin, the go-to guy. 4 yards on the first down. Defensively today for the Bruins, they are without a sack in the defensive line, but 2 freshmen, Fletcher and Coker, are going to work more and more into that rotation. And at the linebacking spot, Ian Badejo. According to the Oregon coaches, he plays with his hair on fire. That's why he doesn't have it. Larry Atkins is the Bruins' leading tackler. He follows in the UCLA tradition of outstanding safeties. 2nd down coming up. They need 6 for the first down. The nation's top-ranked quarterback ends it off. Drones picks his way, battles, crosses midfield with a powerful run. It'll be 3rd and short But there you can see the strength of Reuben Drones.
And Reuben Drones plays offense for Jeff Tedford. He's their offensive coordinator. So far this year, Oregon is 100% in this red zone. But it's down here where they need to make big plays today against UCLA. On the season, Oregon has made 25 plays of 30 yards or more. That's why they're one of the top offenses.
On 3rd and 1, double tight end for Coach Bellotti and the Ducks. 2 wide men. Drones, middle. Drones, first down, still going. Battles free. Powerfully to the 41-yard line, and Reuben Drones serves notice on the Bruin front early.
And they still don't have him down. The whistle blows, stops his forward progress. First down for Oregon, but Reuben Drones averaged 200 yards per game as the leading rusher in junior college last year at Merced College. And in 2 games this year where he has been 100% healthy, he has gone over 200 yards at this level.
A fullback comes onto the field for Coach Bellotti, and it is Chris Young. First time we have seen the fullback as the Ducks move to Bruin territory on the first series of this football game. They line on and bring Hartley in motion to the wide side of the field. Drones had to reach back for the handle. Now he's got it. And to the 36-yard line. Could have been a bit of a disaster, but Drones saves the day with Holland making the stop.
And Nick Aliotti is the defensive coordinator for UCLA, and he feels that if he can hold Oregon to 3 yards or less on first down and stop the run, then they can go after and rattle number 11, the quarterback, Akili Smith.
Danny gave up 4 that time, making it 2nd and 6. There's Aliotti. Gangrene he put together up in Eugene for Rich Brooks, the team that reached the Rose Bowl before losing to Penn State a few years back. Akili play fake, deflected, and knocked incomplete. As a defensive lineman that time, Santi Hall, number 95, playing that outside linebacking spot, reached his paw up in the air and knocked it away.
And Santee is 6'2", but he shows his leaping ability as Akili on the half rollout here. Watch the athletic play here by number 95 as Hall goes up with his left hand. And this receiver, the fullback, Chris Young, was open in the flat.
Kenyon Coleman, back from an injury, moves into the defensive line for the Bruins. Nickelback is in. Marcus Anderson facing 3rd down. Akili with a short drop, fires complete, and Hartley is flung out of bounds at the 29-yard line. First down, Oregon.
Oregon has a very sophisticated pass offense, and when you need 8 yards or 9 yards, the receivers are told to run 2 or 3 yards beyond that. You see, once Hartley makes this catch and once Ryan rocks him out of bounds, Oregon has another first down.
Jason Cooper checks in at tailback. This will be his first opportunity to run as he'll team with Drones, and that means they'll send one of them out as a receiver. Cooper will go out to the short side. Option look, pitch back. Drones trap, battles for about a 2-yard gain, and Ted McBride, the strong safety, making the stop.
You know, Brent, when you watch Drones and you watch the Bruins come up and tackle him, they get to him, they make contact, and yet Reuben Drones pulls tacklers down the field. That's called being a finisher as a running back, and that is the most pleasant surprise for Reuben Drones and the Oregon coaching staff is his power after he is hit by tacklers.
2nd down and 8 yards to go for Akili Smith and the Ducks. And again, they send Cooper to the short side, giving them 3 wide receivers in this look. And Akili straight back. He's going to take off. Alley opens in the middle. Wants a block from Cooper. First down, Oregon, 15-yard line, as Akili Smith sees the field and dashes 12 yards.
One of the problems for UCLA this year is lack of sacks out of their front 4. Here you see they're rushing 4 men at Akili Smith. He opens up right here, points to some blockers, but he really has to tuck that ball away after that contact. Another first down for Oregon. Very impressive opening drive.
So the Ducks move to the red zone. First down from the 15-yard line. They run the draw. Drone smashes to the 9 before he was juggling the ball, and the Bruins say they've got it. UCLA recovers the fumble. Ruben Groans coughs it up inside the 10, struggling for that extra yard.
Now, when you struggle for those extra yards, you're going to attract a lot of attention. And watch the Bruins as they come on the gang tackle. Atkins will strip the ball. This is something he's done many times in his career. He recovered a fumble last week against Arizona and came up with a big play that time.
And Coker, the freshman, Ken Coker, the freshman nose guard, pounces on it. First down and 10 as Atkins forces another turnover for the Bruins. Now McNown on first down without the huddle completes his first pass. Brad Nelsby, the slot man. Now there is the big play safety, Atkins. He follows in the tradition. He started the season at strong safety. They moved him to free, thinking he could make more plays. And how appropriate was that when we watched the young man just yank the ball out of Ruben Groan's hands. And now it is second down and short. Here is Brown, first down, UCLA, but there is a yellow flag on the other side.
Illegal formation, offense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Well, they set their first two plays in motion without a huddle, but now they go back to it. And Toledo's staff signaling in the play to Cade McNown. He was telling us yesterday that they will call 3 plays in the huddle, one of which is the opposite of which direction was called in the huddle. And then there is an alternative if he has to get out of it. They go with the play that was called. Brown, tailback, busts a tackle, and he's out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So, you know, behind McNown are 3 very fine tailbacks. The freshman Deshaun Foster exploded last Saturday night in Tucson. As far as the receivers are concerned, Danny Farmer, also a volleyball star, he is UCLA's leading receiver. Now, the offensive line, ladies and gentlemen, is huge and very talented. Chris Ferris is 6'9". He has the wingspan of a bird of prey. Watch him when he locks up and pushes someone out of the way. First down and 10 as the Bruins move out now to the 29-yard line. Their first series of the game. Grieb, the tight end, goes in motion. McNown, incomplete. That was Polly Dixon, number 82, working toward the near side. And defensively, Oregon's front has to jam that line of scrimmage, and they must prevent McNown from scrambling up the middle. Now, linebacker Peter Sermon is gone for the season, but Chevron has stepped up his game now, and he's the Ducks' leading tackler. And Rashad Bowman, he's only 5'8", but he plays 6'3", and he talks 6'5". And, folks, he's going to get tested here today. Second down and 10 now for McNown and the Bruins. McNown pointing out that the corner's backing off on that side. Takes it straight back, 5-stepper, fires high to the right. He let the ball go high to the right. That's been a problem with him this year.
He's had some mechanical problems as far as throwing the ball. We'll get into that a little bit as far as the offensive coordinator, Al Borges, is concerned, and the goals that he wants his team to accomplish. He doesn't believe in statistical goals because there's so many different ways to win today. But he feels they have to take some shots at the smaller cornerbacks of Oregon. Polly Dixon is 6'5". Danny Farmer, 6'4".
Deshaun Foster, number 26, in for his first play. The freshman, an outstanding receiver, is off to McCown's left. Waits to block, delays, goes out. McNown further down the field. First down, UCLA to the 47-yard line. He did not need to bring it back down to Foster. That's an 18-yard gain, and it was Danny Farmer's first reception of the afternoon.
And Cade McNown had all day to throw this ball. Watch Farmer on the zone defense of Oregon. See the linebackers dropping, and Farmer's a veteran receiver who can really find that open spot, but this is really the key. Watch Cade with a good 4 seconds to throw the ball. Real good mechanics that time, coming right over the top.
This has a chance to become the best offensive line in college football this season. That's how good it is. Fake by McNown's got great time. Middle, Polly Dixon incomplete. He was very well covered by Bowman. 5'8" Bowman was right with the taller Polly Dixon that time.
And Bob Foster, the Oregon defensive coordinator, doesn't really like statistical goals. He likes this right as you see it. Learn your job, fellas. Trust your buddy. Trust your coaches. And above all else, play hard for 60 minutes. This Oregon defense was 10th in the Pac-10 last year. Right now, they're number 1.
2nd and 10. Bruins from the I. And Foster. So this will be 3rd and long coming up for UCLA. And this is what Coach Foster hopes to keep the Bruins in most of the day.
Quite a turnaround from last year for Oregon. A lot of it has to do with how quickly their offense jumps out in front. They've been able to score a lot of points in the first half. In fact, they have outscored their opponents in the first quarter 80-9. It helps the entire team.
So McNown looking over that Oregon team now, trying to convert a 3rd and 8 here in the first quarter. Takes a deep drop. Fires right, wide open, got him! Touchdown UCLA, Deshaun Foster, 51 yards, and Deshaun, an excellent receiver, gets open on the far sideline. Breaks a tackle and dashes into the end zone. The Bruins strike first.
This offensive line has only allowed 2 sacks all year long. Look at the time to throw and the alley that McNown can look at the entire field through. Foster will break this tackle and high-step it on in.
Now Saylor tacks on the extra point. Ladies and gentlemen, remember these names: Ferris, Gezi, Stewart, Myers, and Polak. It's got a chance to be the best offensive line this year. You saw the time they gave Cade McNown. He strikes first, timeout. Cade McNown, his 51st career touchdown. That's a UCLA record. And now keep an eye on Chris Saylor. His last kickoff was not a good one. This time he gets some leverage and booms it into the end zone, and Oregon will take a knee. Ruben Drones back in at running back. Keeley going to put it up on first down. Fires incomplete. Now UCLA is not that surprised about Akili Smith. He went 11 of 13 in the first half of that game a year ago. And here is the young man. What a career he has in front of him, Dan.
Well, he had a pretty good career behind him, too, in high school, Brent. 88 rushing touchdowns. And looks like he may even get a picture drawn of him this afternoon.
It gets close enough to McNown. See, now Leroy, he figures now if he wins the Heisman, now that drawing's going to be worth some bucks. See, that's a right guy, Leroy. He's right down there. All right, here we go. 2nd down and 10. They split the backs now. And Akili on that short drop, going to fire a fade downfield, and the receiver Griffin stumbles. He simply tripped and went down, no interference. So the Ducks have to be just a little disheartened. Remember, this is a high-octane offense for Coach Bellotti. They can snap right back. They were threatening, they fumbled. Bruins tucked one in. They lead it by 7. Now it's Oregon's turn. Here's the 3rd down and 10. Akili looks downfield, going to go deep. Incomplete. Bobby Nero went airborne and couldn't hang on. Ryan Rock, the defensive back for the Bruins. It's 3 and out.
Ryan Rock has got 3 interceptions in his last 3 games, probably because he covers receivers like this. A little bit of a push there, could have been called, could have been caught.
There's Josh Bidwell. Has not punted much so far this season because Oregon's usually scoring touchdowns or kicking field goals. And the hero for the Bruins, young Deshaun Foster, set to return this punt. Bad punt. Right straight up in the air. Airborne. Umpire doesn't see it. Going sideways. Bruin coaches waving everybody around. They're 30 yards away from a 2-touchdown lead. Folks, that's a 10-yard punt. Timeout. Concern on the Oregon sideline. UCLA's high-octane, fast-break attack. Craig Willende, the fullback. Deshaun Foster, the freshman. And Cade McNown ready to go back to work, needing only 30 yards for another score. Foster picks and battles his way to the 23-yard line. And that was Willende. isolating a block and leading him into that hole that time.
Yeah, Willendi, number 39, the big fullback, Brent. I loved Al Borges telling us yesterday that he's a type of fullback that can water your eyes. That means he's a pretty good blocker, I think.
Farmer's off to the right. Holy Dixon to the short side, or the left of McNown. Movement by the front that time. On 2nd down and 2, a costly mistake.
There was a legal snap on the play. Offsides, defense in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, first down.
How do our two quarterbacks match up, Dan Fouts?
Well, Achilles a big guy. The agility's about even. Throwing motion, I give it to Achilles Smith. But this one right here, been here, done this. Cade McNown has played in big games much more than Achilles Smith.
And he just showed it right there. Drawing an offside with the snap count. Taking charge at the line of scrimmage. Now a pitch out to Foster, who busts a tackle, but not the second one. It was Fletcher who came across and disrupted that play and made everything else possible. Rolling up from his strong safety spot. One of about 24 youngsters on the Oregon team who grew up in Southern California.
And Fletcher was real close to not only making that tackle, he should have made the tackle. I think Foster's strength surprised him, but he could have also knocked that ball loose. Good job by the freshman hanging on.
What's the Bruins? In a 2nd and long. They need 15 yards, and they pound away to the 12-yard line that time with Deshaun Foster coming back. But I had my eye on Michael Fletcher, who just rolled all over Cade McNown coming up on that safety spot. McNown is one of the better ball handlers in college football, and I think Fletcher thought he still had the football when he took a shot at him back there.
Yeah, at least that's what he could tell the official.
Yeah. Did he still have it? 3rd down and 7. McNown gets time, middle, caught, hung on at the 4-yard line. Danny Farmer. What a big time reception this is.
It really is, Brent. It's a crossing route, but watch the collision here as the safety, Justin Wilcox, will come in. Number 19, great catch by Farmer. He's going to get drilled there. Actually, it was Brandon McLemore, number 9, with the big hit.
There's Danny. His father, George, it's a wide receiver with the Chicago Bears. 1st down and goal for the Bruins. And they run Foster smashing for the goal line, and ball loose. Touchdown, they signal. Line judge says he got it on the 2nd effort. He was not to be denied. The young man now with 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving and 1 rushing.
You know, Brent, that ball might have come loose as he was trying to break the plane and stretch across. The official was right on it, called it immediately.
An opportunistic UCLA team taking advantage of a bad punt and excellent field position. Marches to its 2nd touchdown of the game.
Good power along the right side behind Willendi, 39. There's Foster. And he's airborne there. He must have broke the plane. His feet were in the end zone. Then the ball came loose.
Yeah. As you look down on a packed Rose Bowl this Saturday afternoon with UCLA ranked number 2 behind Coach Bob Toledo with the nation's longest winning streak. 14 straight, a school record. Looking for number 15 against Coach Bellotti in Oregon. They've won 7 in a row, and now it is uphill for the Invaders. There's your Division I winning streaks. Kansas State with 13. They're playing right now, and we'll be updating that score. And Cooper takes a knee, just some huge number. First down and 10. Drones trying to pick his way and sprints to the 30-yard line. They've got to be so careful with him. He looks like at any moment he could go the distance.
Well, he has a couple of times this year. He's got a 75-yarder in his first major college football game against Michigan State. But you notice that time he's got both hands on the ball running through traffic.
6 carries for 33 yards. Oregon trailing for only the second time this season. But they're equipped with weapons. We saw Bishop running for Kansas State on that highlight by John. Reminds me that Akili Smith might hurt this Bruin defense with his running ability before it's over too. The young man from San Diego going to call a timeout. And the Bruins, jumping around defensively and changing things up, have confused the offense. Timeout at the Rose Bowl. Back with UCLA leading, and it's Oregon football. First down and 10. Down 2 scores. Akili Smith struggling with the passing game so far for the Ducks. Gonna pull it out off a fake. Near side got Griffin open, and he overthrew it. Griffin had a step. The safety a little bit late in getting there, and Akili is just off the mark. He is now 2 of 7 today.
It's a double move for Damon Griffin. He's going to come down and run the out route. This is an excellent route. He really sells it, really fools Ryan Rock, and this ball is 2 yards too far. Griffin is their speed guy. They feel that he's the type of guy that can get away from this bump and run. Also shown the ability to run very precise patterns.
Second down and 10 for the Ducks. Press coverage shown. Drones to the hole. To the 38-yard line. This will put Oregon in 3rd and short as Badejo makes a stop. Boy, pressure on the 2 defensive coordinators in this football game. Foster upstairs for Oregon. Nick Naliati for UCLA. And, of course, he goes way back to the Oregon days. You can see Foster over there on the right-hand side. And on the other side, Aliati, who helped put Gang Green together. Look at his signal. He was with Dick Vermeil in the St. Louis Rams a year ago. Under pressure now. 3rd down and 2. Shows 4 down. Blitz from the linebacking spot. Great pitch by Kelly for the first down. Across midfield. That was a slick move by Akili Smith and a 13-yard gain. Let's take you back to Merced Junior College. Drones unable to qualify academically originally. So watch him now on the pitch from the quarterback. Look familiar? It should. It's basically the same play. And now the youngster. 3 times he's rushed for more than 200 yards this year for Oregon. And today he has 54 in the first quarter. And also that costly fumble. Now the Ducks play with half a field. Akili back. Fires complete. Down to the 32-yard line on that first down pass, and Damon Griffin for 16 yards.
You know, we're really seeing 2 of the finer offensive lines in college football. The Oregon line has only allowed 6 sacks in 5 games. A lot of it has to do with Smith's running ability, but also they're a veteran group, and when you get a receiver like Griffin in the open, it's yards after the catch, that old yakety-yak thing that sets him apart from a lot of receivers.
Now Haynes will slot on the right side for the Ducks. Akili starting to warm up. Here's Drones, slides a tackle, finds daylight to the 26-yard line. See, 2nd down and 3.
And Brent, I guarantee if the Ducks win this game, they go up and play the Trojans, that it will rain in Eugene on Saturday, just for the Trojans.
Fumble! But this time, Oregon's able to save it on a sloppy handoff here. The exchange just not good between Drones and Akili.
Yeah, I think Drones has got to be a little bit more patient here. He gets running a little bit too quick, and then Akili gives him a handoff that's too high. That was above the numbers. You're always trying to aim for that belly button when you hand the ball off to your tailback. That one can be shared equally.
And Darian Latimer checks in on 3rd and 7. Achille has not gone to his tight end yet in this game. He has Weaver to the right-hand side. Rolls, looks, he's covered, gonna throw back now to Latimer. Latimer trying to get the first down, reaches for it, and it will depend on the spot. He may be just a couple of feet away. Very close on that far side here on 3rd down and 7. Down 2 scores, Dan. I don't think it matters. I think Oregon will go in this situation.
Yeah, especially when you got Reuben Drones walking back into the backfield here, at least right into the huddle. This is going to be just a little bit short. Well conceived and well executed screen pass. And remember, the other thing you got is you got Achille Smith, who's 220 pounds. Run him on the quarterback sneak. A lot of options here for Oregon on this 4th down.
Oregon's been successful on 4th down. The numbers, they're 2 of 3 in converting this year. This is a big drive for the Ducks. So here it is, folks. 4th down and 1 from the eye. Drones the favorite, but don't overlook Achille. Here's Drones, got it. Hangs on. Just short of the 20-yard line. 1st down, Oregon. Coach Toledo has done a wonderful job with this UCLA program. And remember, he was not the first choice after Terry Donahue retired to the broadcast booth. Gary Barnett, among others, was brought out here and interviewed. But Toledo, in my mind, is ideal for this program. Folks, he reminds me a little bit of my old buddy Tommy Lasorda. He's a hail fellow, well met. He'll slap you on the back. He'll tell you a story. He's great. 1st down and 10.
Doesn't eat quite as much as Tommy, though.
1st down and 10. Here's Achille going to throw back to the left. Waits now patiently. Got him. Weaver for the flag. Touchdown. Finally went to the tight end. It's 20 yards. And a touchdown for the Ducks.
The former Redmond Panther at tight end, averaging 21 yards per catch, gets in the end zone on the corner route here. Achille's going to throw this ball all the way across the field. Weaver is working against number 47, Ryan Neese. Look at this perfect pass to the tight end, and then the strength to just get inside the cone.
Nathan Villegas tacks on the extra point, and just like that, Oregon snaps back. 80 yards and 10 plays. Well, it is time now to remember some comebacks in this great series. Solomon Smith Barney remembers what a job a receiver for Oregon did in 1970. Greg Speck lined up outside. Watch him get into the end zone. Can he get free? This is it for the winning score. Greg Speck, great catch.
Nice pass.
Nice pass. I just thought it was all the receiver there in 1970. Well, I got to check in and see who that quarterback was on that. Maybe my folks down there, Bob Goodrich and Drew Essickott, come up with a little more information on that QB, folks. Here's the kickoff now. Imami into the end zone, and it'll come out on the 20. Oh, here it is. Back in 1970. Let's check this. Oh, good runner. Excellent. Number 11 into the end zone. Twice he did it against the Bruins. Why, folks, that is none other than dashing and daring Dan Fouts. Well, you could run in those days.
Nice runner, too. Good pass. I got to give my center credit, though. Jim Fagoni from St. Ignatius High School in San Francisco. He was my high school center and my college center. Clearing the way, Jim Fagoni.
1st down and 10 for McNown and the Bruins. And Jermaine Lewis, back from his 1-game suspension. This his first carry. And he storms to the 26-yard line. You probably read the story because of an incident, altercation, a little bit of a fist fight away from the team. He was suspended by Coach Toledo for the Arizona game. He does not start as a result of that suspension today, but here he is back in the lineup, and that gives him 3 outstanding tailbacks, and the way things are going, they may need him here today.
You know, I think the quarterback's got a lot of attention in this game, but I'm more impressed with the running backs. Drones, Foster, Brown.
Deep setup for Jermaine. Handoff, nothing doing that time. Oh, baby. That was Anthony Martin making the stop, and These aerial pictures are courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based nearby in Carson, California. Goodyear recently increased its blimp fleet to 6, adding 2 airships in Europe and 1 in South America. Glenn Hampton, your cameraman. Always nice to see the Goodyear blimp because the cameramen along here are outstanding. 3rd down and 4 for McNown and the Bruins. Cade fires complete, and if they spot it right, they'll give him a 1st down. It's going to depend on where the linesman puts that ball. Mike Grebe, number 88, the tight end, with the reception right at the mark.
Had to go right to the 30-yard line.
Got it.
Grebe has 5 receptions coming into this game, but look where he knows exactly what he needed to get that 1st down. Still struggling to put it right on that chalk line. That's all he needed to get.
The first period comes to an end. 21 points up on the scoreboard already. UCLA 14, Oregon 7. Timeout. We start the 2nd quarter. UCLA with a 1st down, and twisting into the hole is Jermaine, as he continues here with Chevron among those bringing him down for the Ducks.
Really see a little bit about the profile of Jermaine Lewis. 5'7", and twisting and spinning in the hole there. He's got a real low center of gravity. I think the Ducks have a tough time finding out where he is.
Well, it is Cade McNown who's trying to dissect this unbeaten Oregon defense. In trouble on the roll, and almost a fingertip grab. And we asked McNown what surprises him the most about this Oregon team, and here's what he had to say.
They come together. They don't make very many mistakes. They do what they're supposed to do. They hit the right gaps at the right times, and they make tackles. They're good tacklers on defense. So we have to be really precise with our line blocking, and our running has to be precise. And you know, it's not going to be an easy game.
Well, they've been precise on 3rd down so far. They're 4 out of 4. They need 6 yards here on this 3rd down. Farmer in motion. McNown gets protection, fires middle, got his 1st down. He's perfect. He's 5 of 5 to the 45-yard line that time, and Jermaine Lewis for 11 yards. Let's go down below to Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brendan, the 1st quarter, we saw UCLA use a script of about 14 plays for 1st and 2nd down. As we move to the 2nd quarter, they've used that script up. But Bob Toledo wants his offensive coordinator, Al Borges, to go back to plays that work. So I'll tell you what, get out the chalkboard. We may see some in the 2nd quarter.
And he wanted Deshaun Foster back in too, Jack, and he's back in at tailback right now on 1st and 10 from the Bruins 45. They'll toss to him. Foster being strung out by the Ducks, jumped over the corner. Bowman, who was coming at him, and just short of the midfield stripe, Garrett Sable responsible for the stop. But there is the young man, Bowman, like Fletcher, all over the field now for the Ducks.
Now, Brett, we're going back to that 3rd down pass that Jermaine Lewis got open and free for 11 yards. That's just his 2nd reception of the year. But when a quarterback has time to throw, he's going to find 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9 different guys to throw to again.
Farmer and Poley Dixon are the 2 wide receivers, and Foster is the tailback in this double tight end formation. It's a throw formation for UCLA. Got Farmer, got him, breaks free. Still going, won't be brought down. 4-yard line, 1st and goal. Rashad Bowman battling the taller receiver, but the receiver wins it for 49 yards.
Oregon's been using a lot of zone defenses, but this time it's going to be man-to-man. Here are the safeties. Here's Farmer, man-on-man on the outside on the post route. And again, you got to notice the pass protection. It's fabulous. Stepping up, throwing right on the money in the big hands of Foster. And look at the strength as he drags Bowman 20 yards.
Foster's the tailback. He scored both the Bruin touchdowns here this afternoon. Slammed in the backfield, and he broke the first tackle that time by Sualua. Sualua came in and smacked him, and it shows you the strength of the freshman that he would not go down, but it disrupted the play. So Sualua, in effect, blew the play up with his penetration.
Yeah, but Oregon has got to start making these tackles and creating some type of turnovers. The penetration is there. You see Martin come in to finish him off, but they get a shot at a running back in the backfield, as they've had about 4 times in this first half. The Bruin backs are breaking tackles.
Bruins worked on slipping the fullback out as a receiver in this situation. 2nd down and goal, but they'll run the toss behind Walindi. Foster being stretched out, and he's going nowhere. Out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Bowman and Moore would not let him get turned upfield.
The Bruins have had a lot more success when they've run straight at Oregon with either the ISO play or the counter play. I'm not sure they have the speed to go wide against Oregon. Doesn't get any better than that. And they've been big plays.
So Borges sending in his play. Keith Brown comes in as a tailback, and he goes to the wing formation on this 3rd and goal. They line up one of their tails over there. McNown looks that direction, hit, fumble, and Oregon incomplete. It's going to be ruled incomplete. The referee, Springer, jumped right in on the play. When I saw it live, I thought perhaps it was a fumble, but Springer much closer to the play, and he rules an incomplete pass.
Well, the protection is good for McNown, but so the coverage must have been excellent for Oregon. Check out the position of the ball. That's a good call. The arm was coming forward, and the ball was just tipped. That's an incomplete pass.
Jason Nicolawa in on him. A 25-yard field goal attempt. Coming up now for Chris Saylor. So the Bruins drive stalls after a 1st and goal at the 4. But Toledo's UCLA team still leads it by 10, 17-7. Timeout.
Running down the entire family. I knew his father in those days in Chicago. He was a good wide receiver. 1st down and 10. A 10-point lead for the Bruins. 17-7 now. 11:56 to go. This kickoff may go out of bounds. It is.
Drones comes in here for Oregon, and Greg Payne from Mission Viejo will be his fullback. They chase the motion receiver Hartley. And Drones is hit in the backfield as Aliotti's defense penetrates. Pete Holland, number 75, is in on that stop.
I think the key to that penetration, Brent, was the fact that UCLA shifted at the last minute their defensive front, and sometimes that causes confusion in the blocking. You see 3 baby blue t-shirts there, jerseys in the backfield of Oregon. So watch for UCLA to continue to shift their defensive line after Achilles Smith makes his first call at the line of scrimmage.
Aliotti has already got the call into his defense. 2nd down and 11. Drones fumbles again. Drones put it down on the Rose Bowl grass, and the Bruins recover it. His 2nd turnover. And UCLA winds up with a short field, and that could be a killer. Kenyon Coleman back for the injured list for Aliotti. Recovers the fumble.
Well, we saw Larry Atkins just rip the ball away from Drones in the 1st quarter. It's a counter play. It's a good handoff by Smith. But there is a couple of Bruins right in there, and doesn't even look like it was all that severe a hit. Good penetration again, and the ball is just dropped by Ruben Drones. Punched out.
A 30-yard field again. Up by 10. Halfback pass. Foster fires it. Double coverage. Caught. Incomplete at the 1-yard line. Farmer can't hang on. There was double coverage.
But Farmer's got that great leaping ability. It's got a 35-inch vertical, and he's working against 5'10" Michael Fletcher and 6-foot Eric Edwards. And I think this is a pretty good job by the running back, Foster, to let number 87 just go up and try to use his athletic ability to come down with this one. It's like the old alley-oop play to R.C. Owens and the 49ers.
Hey, Foster's been busy for Toledo. 8 rushes, 1 catch for a long touchdown, and now he's throwing a pass as Keith Brown replaces him and gives him a break. Here's Brown, daylight left side. First down, powerful before Fletcher whacks him out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And I mean, Michael Fletcher put it to him that time after that 12-yard run.
Powerful and fast, though. Justin Wilcox, number 19, had the angle on Brown, but Brown really turned on the Jets to get down the sideline.
So Foster without the helmet getting his break, and Brown replacing him. Now it's 1st and 10 inside the red zone again. Here's the handoff to Brown. Reaches the 15-yard line, and Chris Vanderveer, making the stop for the Ducks.
Three crucial mistakes in this first half for Oregon. 2 drones fumbles and a 10-yard punt from Josh Bidwell. And the Bruins are looking to capitalize on all 3 of them.
A packed Rose Bowl on a Saturday afternoon. 2nd down and 7 for Cade McNown and the Bruins. Nothing doing again. Brown swarmed on at the 20-yard line. That's a loss of a couple of yards. So this will be 3rd and long.
This would be a big stand for Oregon if they could hold UCLA to just a field goal again when UCLA is threatening.
McLemore replaces Fletcher in the defensive backfield. And they will throw a nickel look or 5 defensive backs at them with Deshaun Foster as the running back. That's Grebe, the tight end, who went behind McNown. McNown, a left-hander, going to throw back on the screen to Foster, shakes a tackle. 10 and close to the first down. A great play call by the UCLA staff that time. And Foster appears to be injured. He's grabbing at his left knee.
And when they grab and don't move, that's not a good sign for Deshaun Foster. This is really a well-designed play. Here's the injury. Timoni Joyner comes in low, and then a couple other Ducks with some pressure.
So let's take a break. We've got 9 minutes left in the first half. UCLA up by 10, and we'll fill you in on Foster. We'll be right back.
Foster.
But it is 1st and goal with Keith Brown, number 1, getting the call. He replaced Foster, battling his way close to the 3-yard line with Chevron hanging on and Foster receiving medical attention on the UCLA sideline.
You can see a helmet of Timoni Joyner right there that catches Foster on his left knee.
Second down and goal from the 4-yard line coming up. Walinde is set in front of Brown. Play fake. McNown in trouble. Got to get rid of him. He does. Shakes the defender. Still free. And down for a loss of 2 yards on the play. But he is a slippery customer.
Boy, he is. He's been looking at his other running backs and seeing how they're breaking Oregon tackles. I counted 4 that time, and that's from the quarterback.
I have seen UCLA use a tight end around down here because they have one of the fastest tight ends in college football. Number 40, Ryan Neufeld. Here is 3rd down and goal. They split Brown and Walinde in the backfield. Going to be a short drop and throw to fade for Farmer. Jump ball, got it. Touchdown UCLA on the 6-yard fade to the one-time volleyball star.
major concern of Oregon from Bob Foster, their defensive coordinator. UCLA's receivers aren't the fastest, but they have the ability at the point of attack on the ball. They go up and get it. No contest that time.
Here's Saylor. Four possessions, 4 scores. 24-7. As Danny Farmer on this beautifully thrown fade pass here, and you can see the height advantage.
He's 6'4", and he's working against Eric Edwards, who's 6 foot even. And he reached at the very last moment, made the touchdown catch.
From the goal line, Jason Cooper explodes for the Ducks. Out to the 38-yard line. You know, we've talked about him. He was on a national championship volleyball team, and here's what he had to say about volleyball and football together.
I think volleyball, what it does is it allows me to perfect different aspects of my athletic ability. You know, you can learn how to jump. You do all the necessary skills for volleyball that actually help in football. You know, hand-eye coordination, a lot of little things that that really help.
So there you are, Danny Farmer having a wonderful afternoon here in the Rose Bowl. The go-to guy for Cade McNown, and Drones, whose fumble set up that touchdown, struggling forward close to midfield. Well, it's time now for our Aflac trivia question. And who is the only UCLA player to play in the shadow of Los Angeles and win the Heisman Trophy? We'll have that answer for you a little bit later. Bruin fans are going to know that one. That's easy for you. Second down is short. Latimer, gang tackle, but picks up the first down for the Oregon Ducks. Ducks down now, 24-7. Here is Drones, and let's take a closer look at this one, Dan.
You know, he's had ankle problems this year. He's missed some time with his right ankle injury, and you see the tackler roll over that right ankle, and there's the grimace of pain for Ruben Drones.
Well, this by far the toughest team Oregon has faced this season. First down and 10. Marcus Anderson, the 5th defensive back on the field for the Bruins. Achille gets great time, fires down, wants Griffin high, double coverage. He threw into trouble that time, and Larry Atkins, the playmaker, number 35, was doubling from his free safety spot, and there was not much of a chance that he could make that one work.
Now, this is a mistake by Achille Smith, because number 35 is the weak safety. He's playing center field here. And Smith is real lucky that Atkins doesn't pick this one off. He had 6 interceptions last year, still looking for his first in 1998.
Second down and 10. Jason Cooper, first carry from scrimmage. Well, we can see the medical attention on the sideline. You know, looking at Atkins make these plays reminds us just how many outstanding safeties have come out. Of course, the great one, Kenny Easley, back in 79-80, he was an All-American. But look at this list. Don Rogers, Eric Turner, Matt Darby, Marvin Goodwin, Sean Williams, and Larry Atkins will move to that list at the end of this season. That's how good he is, one of the best in the country.
And he's made the adjustment from strong safety to free safety very well.
Third down and 5. Achille rolls left. Receivers covered, fired, sideline in. They mark it at the 31-yard line. It was close. Need only 1 foot inbounds, or if you're carried out by the defensive back. And the official right there said Damon Griffin had it. 14 yards and another Oregon first down.
And the strong arm of Achille Smith was on display with this pass. On a line and rolling out to the left. He puts everything behind this one. 220 pounds. And then watch the footwork of Damon Griffin. Got him in. Good call by the officials.
Danny Polito checks in to give the Ducks a couple of tight ends. A slot formation off to the right. The Bruins show press coverage. Fumble again. Fumble, ball still loose. UCLA's got it. The third turnover. Kenyon Coleman. There's number 99, returned from the injury list.
He certainly has a nose for the ball. 2 fumble recoveries today for Coleman. That time it was Jason Cooper that left it on the ground. See another counter play. Check out the handoff. It appears to be okay. And Cooper never quite put it in his belly. Secured it away, and now it's loose.
First down and 10 for the Bruins. Coming out from their own 46. Jermaine Lewis is the running back. Poley Dixon steps in motion. Cade on the long handoff. And somehow Lewis makes the most of it for a couple of yards. This UCLA team could become one of the finest in the history of this school if the defense plays like they are today. Recovering and forcing 3 fumbles. Toledo has a magnificent team. Obviously, everyone keeping their fingers crossed about Deshaun Foster. The main ingredient, those fellas in the trenches. Second down and 8 now for the Bruins. Play fake McNown. Got him on that far side, incomplete. So the Bruins bring it up, 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Shotgun look. The back switch. Oregon shows blitz. McNown steps away from it to the middle, got one-on-one, deflected, incomplete, and almost intercepted. Jack, what's the latest on Drones from down below?
Well, Brent, it is the same ankle that Drones had injured before previously. So what the athletic trainers have done is they've retaped that right ankle, added additional support to it. He's going to put the shoe back on. If he can stand the weight, make some cuts, they'll send him back in.
All right, well, Oregon needing to make something happen on special teams. Michael Fletcher, he has returned 2 punts for scores today. Chris Saylor with that pulled groin. Short on the punt. Angling away from Fletcher and out of bounds at about the 21 or 2 yard line over there on the far side. Only a 30-yard punt for Saylor. So it has been a turnover-prone Oregon team. The difference in the game, the fumbles. The ball yanked free once. Drones puts it down a 2nd time, and then a disaster as the Ducks were threatening moments ago. Now they've got the ball back again, and Akili Smith could use the big play. Drones' ankle being taped down on the near side. And Cooper checks in as the running back with 5:16 to go in the first half. Smacked at the line of scrimmage by Ryan Neese, who is the son of Ronnie Lott, and he hit him like Lott that time.
Yeah, when Ronnie Lott hit you, you didn't go any further. You went straight down to the ground. And when you see in Oregon running backs now, Brent, what you're seeing is they're a little bit more tentative with the ball. That when you have fumble problems, it kind of gets contagious. It can run throughout the entire team.
The other thing, Dan, that I'm seeing is that their receivers are having a very difficult time getting free of this UCLA secondary. Aliotti's team is locking up defensively. Latimer crushed at the 17-yard line, and the Bruin defense is starting to gain confidence as this game goes on. Tony White from El Paso making that stop, and there, hey folks, if they ever do his story, does Joe Pesci do the roll or what? Huh? Look at him over there. Now, of course, he doesn't talk like Pesci. You know? I mean, Pesci says that word better than any man in the history of the movies, okay?
Which is that?
3rd down and 18. Akili Smith with his hands full. He's going to need his aerial circus to pull this baby out. Coming back against the blitz. Breaks free to the middle, but they spy on him, and they give him no more than the 20-yard line, and Oregon 3 and out.
Talk about a team that's growing in confidence and one that is absolutely at the bottom as far as confidence is concerned. Smith initially has pretty good time to throw here, but it's real poor pass protection on the outside. Brendan Abadanjeo comes over there and forces Achille to run up the middle.
Bidwell. He'll try to improve on that 10-yarder this time with Ryan Rock back deep. Much, much better. There's the Bidwell punt. Back to the 20-yard line. And Rock down at the 37-yard line. And wouldn't it be something if Ohio State and UCLA played, well, maybe not so good for the Rose Bowl. They're going to move it to Tempe, Arizona if these two teams can wind up 1-2 in the whichever ranking is going to be the most important at the end of the year. Keith Brown, the ball carrier, in our Aflac trivia quiz. The only UCLA player, Dan, to win the Heisman Trophy is
Gary Beban, number 16, back in 1967.
There he is, Gary. What kind of a quarterback was he, Dan?
Well, he had a lot of mobility. He was a guy that could run the option, but also threw well on the run.
Second down and 8. Here's McNown firing, complete. First down across midfield.
Gary Beban beat out a pretty good running back from SC for this Heisman Trophy. A guy named O.J. Simpson. Simpson won it the next year, but Beban took it home in 1967.
Mike Grieve caught that pass for 16 yards for UCLA. The ball at the 44-yard line. First down and 10 for the Bruins, who lead it 24-7. And Oregon needs to stop this drive, regroup, and attempt to get back in this one. Avoid the turnovers in the second half, but this is a huge defensive stand for the Ducks. Play fake McNown, coming down the middle. He's greedy. Paulie Dixon, incomplete in the end zone. There's a penalty flag thrown, however, right in the vicinity of Bowman, who was working with the taller Paulie Dixon.
Pass interference, defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
15 yards in college. Bowman's lucky in the NFL if he does that. It's placed on the 1-yard line.
Dan, what's your feeling about this? Was it interference?
Well, yeah, that left hand got in there, but I'm not so sure that we haven't seen a whole lot more contact than that. But he grabbed at him about 3 times, and that has to be a good call.
Even a duck can see that.
Whack, whack.
First down and 10, automatic first down at the 30. Jermaine Lewis back in the game. Here comes that end around. Paulie Dixon sprinting to the near side. Paulie Dixon close to another first down, and a penalty flag on the hit over there by the sideline. That was Michael Fletcher. He delivered a blow a little bit earlier in this game that I thought was iffy on that far side.
Well, the Ducks are starting to lose their composure a little bit. Pass interference on Bowman, and this late hit on Michael Fletcher.
Dead ball, after the play, personal foul, defense. 10 yards, penalties half the distance to the goal line, first down 10.
It'll be first and goal at the 10-yard line. 1:43 left here in the first half. Brown stopped. Picked up a couple of yards that time. The first man to hit him was Matt Smith.
One of the problems Oregon has had this season, one of the few problems they've had, is in the penalty department, averaging about 10 per game. But the last 2 here are have just been critical against Oregon. They've had 3 so far today.
Two tight ends, Neufeld and Grieve in the game. Brown, the running back. Melsby at wide receiver, along with Paulie Dixon. Here's Paulie Dixon, intercepted. Beautifully read by the defense that time. And Oregon bailed out on the interception by Patu. A great defensive play that time. McNown threw it right to him, and Saul Patu from Seattle saves the moment for the Ducks.
This is an outstanding play by Saul Patu. McNown comes out this way, wants to throw the screen pass back to the other side. But check out Patu, as he is looking for it, and steps in front of the wide receiver, Poley Dixon, and gives Oregon a chance to go in at halftime feeling good about themselves.
And now let's see what they can do with the final 53 seconds of the half. 3 wide outs, and Latimer is the Oregon running back. Akili. He's got Hartley. Got him. Clock stops out of bounds at the Bruins' 46-yard line as Akili Smith hits a 24-yarder to Tony Hartley.
And Brent, I know how you like to speculate about guys that can play next year on Sundays. Well, Akili Smith has showed a strong arm, the ability to throw the ball on the line, but he also lofted a beautiful pass that time to pick up a key first down and get number 22 back in the lineup.
He's 7 of 13 down for 93 yards. Drones back in as his running back now. Akili will roll the pocket to the right and try to go deep down that far sideline, overthrew everybody. Donald Haynes was breaking it toward the post. What a great day this would be to hover above the Rose Bowl here. Excess of 80,000, and there's the Goodyear Blimp Eagle. It's okay to me. 2nd down and 10 now. 39 seconds and 2 timeouts. Akili looks back to the short side and going to take it off. Here comes one of the timeouts. They got to call it fast. 32 seconds. He didn't get the first down. Now there's 1 timeout left and 30 seconds to go. The ball inside UCLA's 40-yard line. Bellotti and his staff trying to get something on that board in the final 30 seconds if they can. With the 3rd down here, Dan, what can be the sequencing on the part of Oregon?
Well, I think the first thing, they have to make the first down and then decide if they want to kill the clock or go with the hurry-up offense. You would expect them to throw the ball to the outside so that the receiver could catch it and then step out of bounds and save that timeout.
Okay, it's 3rd down now.
We got some work to do on that. It's over then.
Here comes Akili. Short drop slant, got Griffin. Griffin breaks it. First down. The clock is stopped quickly in college football at the 23-second mark, so they'll hurry up. And we have got Aguirre is down at the 45-yard line. One of their veteran linemen injured with 23 seconds to go.
Here's a scoop. The official says he's not going to charge him a timeout.
That's a break for Oregon. They're at the line of scrimmage now, ready to roll.
Got 23 seconds to work with. Got that timeout. They're close enough. They're inside the 25-yard line. Akili going to try to get it all first. Incomplete and out of bounds, and now 17 ticks of the clock left.
And that pass was about 17 inches too far for Tony Hartley. Caught the ball, but was just out of bounds. It's a corner route by Hartley, and Akili showing fine touch again. Puts this ball on his receiver's hands, but just a 1.5 foot out of bounds.
17, they'll take another crack at it with 2nd down. Akili will fire on the slant. No, incomplete. That time Donald Haynes broke it off and was running the post. And there are now 12 ticks of the clock left.
But because Oregon has 1 timeout remaining, they could afford to take a couple more shots here. At least 1 more throw to the end zone.
On 3rd down, and then, of course, go ahead and kick the field goal. On 4th down, we've got a strong arm like Akili's. Why not? Villegas, the field goal specialist, watching. Haynes, Hartley, and Griffin is to the short side. They blitz. They come blitz. Akili's got Griffin one-on-one. He's got it. First down and goal. 7 seconds to go, and now Oregon's got a decision to make. A 20-yard pass to Damon Griffin. Remember, they've still got the 1 timeout in UCLA, and there it is. It has been used right now.
Well, this is a veteran offensive unit here, Brent. Reading the blitz, getting the post pattern. Watch the blitz from the Bruins. They're coming right up the middle, and from the outside, the protection for Oregon is perfect. No safety in the middle of the field allows the quarterback to just loft it down there and let Griffin, who gets inside of Jason Bell here. Bell with a little hole to grab there, but there's a perfect throw. Dilemma time now, decision time for Oregon as they're on the 2-yard line.
What would Dan Fouts do?
Well, I would check out and ask Reuben Drones, Reuben, can you get me a touchdown on this next play? I want to put the ball in your hands and see if you can get it.
Wait a minute. I saw you do a quarterback sneak.
But if you asked me if I was Akili Smith, I'd say, let me roll out and run for it, baby. You said, what would I do? Not what he will do.
So there's a couple of yards to go. 7 seconds left in the first half. What a lift this would be. Either way, somebody's going to go in feeling real good at halftime. They've got 3 tight ends in the game. Drones and Akili. Akili's rolling. Can he get to the corner? He's got it. He walks into the end zone for the touchdown. Akili Smith, with 1 second left in the first half, scores Oregon's second touchdown. And folks, whatever you do at halftime, you'll come back. We got some fireworks coming your way.
Yeah, you know, Brent, he faked the running play to Drones up the middle and then used his God-given natural ability to waltz into the end zone. Great block by Danny Polito to get his quarterback in untouched.
Villegas tacks on the extra point. The lead once again is 10. 24-14, UCLA over Oregon. So Akili Smith, who struggled in the early going of this game, pressing the ball, throwing long, underthrowing a little bit. But then, bingo, hitting Griffin, rolling out, and running in for the touchdown. 38 points on the board here in the first half already. And Imame, who won the kicking contest this week, just going to dribble it to run the clock out. That's going to end our first half. UCLA and Oregon, 2 unbeaten teams. The Bruins have won 14 in a row, the longest win streak in the country.
It's battle of third downs. Now, I'm going to tell you this, too. I honest to God don't care if we win this game. I would love to win it. I care more about each and every one of you walking off that field with your head held high, knowing you've done everything you can to help us win. Feel good about yourself, feel good about your teammates. And I want you to think about that. I want to play hard, I want to play well. Winning will take care of itself. That'll be the reward at the end of this. Let's go fucking
And the Oregon Ducks, having scored a touchdown in the last seconds of the first half, now down by 10 on a Saturday afternoon at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. The Bruins of UCLA, favored by 10, will handle the ball to start the second half. Akili Smith and the Oregon offense, if they can avoid costly turnovers and hope that they can jump right back into the middle of this fray. 3 fumbles, the difference in that first half. And now Imame, a young man who played his high school football in Eugene, Oregon, last week won the battle of the kickers, will kick it off to UCLA as we start the second half. Jermaine Lewis and Mark Reynosa replaces the injured Deshaun Foster for the Bruins. Returnable. Lewis. 20. Hold. To the 31-yard line. And Dan Fouts, what about adjustments here in the second half?
Well, I think it's for Oregon important that the running backs obviously hang on to the ball. Those 3 fumbles were killers. And keep your poise. Don't make silly penalties. And remember how you got to 5-0. You're a good football team, and Saul Patu's interception and then Akili Smith's touchdown run has given Oregon the confidence that they absolutely had none of during that bad stretch in the second quarter.
Keith Brown will open the second half at tailback. Coach Toledo and UCLA.
Gets the first carry. Cuts off to the 38-yard line, and we will take a look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats. Dan?
Well, you'd expect a lot of yards in for both teams. No quarterback sacks, but again, when you have turnovers, it's what you do with them. UCLA has taken 3 balls from Oregon and put up 14 points, and Oregon with that big one at the end of the first half.
Oregon yielding 7 yards on that first down to Brown. Come right back with the tailback, and he is stopped short of the first down. Swarmed all over by the Oregon defenders that time.
You know, getting back to Coach Bellotti in the locker room, I'm not sure our viewers appreciate what a privilege it is to be able to go into a sanctuary like the locker room, especially at a critical time in a ball game, in a huge game. I just got to thank the coach for allowing us to eavesdrop on him and listen to his message to his team. Very unique message. Doesn't really care if you win the game. He cares more about the effort you put out.
3rd down and 1. Keeping it on the ground. Close. Real close. The Oregon front 7 doing a stalwart job on 2nd and 3rd down after giving up 6 yards on 1st down.
And after watching UCLA's first 3 plays here in the 3rd quarter, you get an idea. Maybe Bob Toledo said at halftime, hey, we're going to go back to the way that we've been successful this year, and that's let our offensive line overpower Oregon. We have a huge offensive line, and Oregon is not as big.
Let's check in with Jack Arute. Jack?
Well, Dan Foucher absolutely correct. What Toledo and his offensive coordinator Al Borges did is they delved over their scripted 14 plays. They found 5 running plays and 5 passing plays. They say the script to start the second half, it's only 10 plays, but there were 10 plays that worked. Don't look for Foster in the second half, guys. It is just a sprain, but they're going to keep him out for the rest of the game.
So the freshman finished for the afternoon, and Jermaine Lewis checks in on this series. Danny Farmer, who's been the big play wideout, is off to the wide side or the top part of your screen. Lewis, the hole is jammed, and the Ducks here on the last 3 downs have done an excellent job of stuffing the run at the line of scrimmage.
You know, Jack Arute said that they're going to run 5 running plays. It seems like they're just running 1 running play, and it's been the isolation play right up the middle, trying to wear down that Oregon defense. But right now, the Ducks are a little bit quicker along that defensive line.
Toledo and the Bruins having trouble with Saul Patu, the 260-pound defensive end out of Seattle down there. And of course, he intercepted a pass earlier. 2nd and long. You would expect the pass. McNown rolling left, backside pressure. Now comes deep, wide open. Paulie Dixon. He drops a touchdown pass at the 15-yard line. He would have walked in for the score.
This picture is all you need to see. This is as good as a turnover right here, because this is 6 points. You can't throw it any better than Cade McNown puts it out there to Paulie Dixon. Right through his hands. Take 6 off the board. Take the extra point off the board. Make it 7.
Third down and 11. McNown under pressure throws incomplete, and the Bruins forced to pass. Punt out. After it stalls, they get 1 first down, barely. And then it is 3 and out on the next series for them. And Toledo's Bruins know now, as if they didn't know before, this is going to become a dogfight. Saylor drops back. That touchdown at the end of the first half was so important for Oregon. Saylor, Fletcher's back, and he's going to let this one roll. Saylor obviously in pain, having trouble kicking and punting. Only a 34-yard punt. The Bruins let 6 slip through their fingers. Oregon breathes a sigh of relief. Now it's their turn, trailing by 10. Timeout. First down, Keely Smith will hand it to Drones. Drones off his own man. Dan, fill everybody in now on what they've had to do to that injured offensive line here in the second half at Oregon.
Well, left tackle Marco Aguirre is out for the game, and right tackle Josh Beckett is out. So that means Jim Adams will move over to, or rather Stefan DeFries will move over to left tackle from his left guard position, and Scott Fergus goes in at right tackle.
So some youngsters having to grow up here in a pressure-packed second half for Oregon. Second down and 8. Keely's short drop fires high and behind the intended receiver there on the far side. That was Jason Cooper, whom they use as a return man and a wide receiver. We've seen him run from scrimmage here today, and now suddenly it is third and long. So you would think that the offensive line woes would be a big, steep hill for the Ducks.
Well, and I think we saw by that play selection, a three-step drop, getting rid of the ball in a hurry, gives you an idea that maybe they're not sure of their pass protection.
Remember what Coach Bellotti said, you've got to win the battle of third downs. Screen incomplete. He just basically had to fire that one away and take the incompletion. He was being pursued almost back to the end zone that time, and that was Ian Badejo.
They got to hand it to both defenses. They've come out here and said, hey, wait a minute. There are two sides of this ball. Oregon's defense stopped UCLA on 6 plays, and now the Bruins return the favor in just 3.
Rock hit right at the 35, but they did not give him the halo, and that'll be a penalty against Oregon. He's got to give him a couple of yards on that 44-yard punt. McLemore wailed into him too quickly. And now Cade brings the Bruins back up to the line of scrimmage. 11:24 left in the third. Up 10. Keith Brown, the tailback for UCLA. And the fullback is in there, Darrell Price, and he batters ahead to the 45-yard line as they use the fullback for the first time, and Vanderveer making the stop for the Ducks.
And the one thing about the fullback in this offense, you really have to commit to being a role player. And Darrell Price was a tailback, and they had to really sell him on the fact that, hey, you want to contribute to this ball club, you're going to have to play fullback and like it.
And Badejo over on that side has that knee brace, and it's being retaped over there on the far side here at the Rose Bowl. Second down and 4. Brown holds, sprints free, first down UCLA. Powerful run to the 36-yard line by junior Keith Brown. 17 tough yards.
All running plays except for that drop pass by Coley Dixon for UCLA here in the second half, and that was the best one. And again, they think they have something coming right up the middle. This is Chevron, number 34. He's taken out there, and then broken tackles in the secondary for Keith Brown.
Remember, the Ducks are without their best linebacker, Peter Sermon, who was injured a few weeks back and lost for the season. And the Bruins now are starting to attack the middle. Coming again. And this time Oregon stops them after a gain of a couple of yards. More than 80,000 on hand here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. 2 unbeaten teams meeting in the Pac-10. One with a 14-game winning streak, UCLA, the longest in the history of the school. Toledo's offense. Fast break. High octane. Second down and 9 for Cade McNown. Play fake, and Fletcher couldn't bring him down. Now in pursuit. Oregon runs him down as Fletcher disrupts the play, and Caleb Smith comes in and cleans up along with Garrett Sable.
McNown is such a great ball handler and faker. That time he showed his strength getting away from Fletcher. Couldn't get away from the other 2 Ducks. Watch the play action fake here. It's all out blitz by Oregon. There's Fletcher missing number 1. Oregon thought this might have been a fumble. Vandiver, number 39, is there. But I think his knee was down just before Vandiver could rip the ball loose.
It's 3rd and 15. It's shotgun time for the Bruins. Deflected, intercepted by Oregon. Picked off by Joyner. Joyner with an alley. Joyner breaks free. Joyner's inside the 20-yard line. The young man from Tucson, Arizona. And there is a penalty flag after the interception. A very late flag, long after the young man was belted out of bounds.
That's one thing about Oregon's defensive backs. They're looking to score after the interceptions.
Dead ball after the play. Personal foul. Defense. Half the distance to the goal line. 1st and goal.
His 2nd interception of the game.
And this one he's throwing into coverage. Oregon changes up here and plays a zone defense this time. Good protection for McNown. The ball was tipped by the linebacker, and then Farmer lost concentration, couldn't bring it in with one hand. Then Joyner picks up the picket line down the sideline and almost scores. Good determination by Poley Dixon to push him out of bounds.
Drones is the tailback for Akili Smith. Cooper is alongside, and he'll go out to the short side of the field. Drones on 1st and goal. Touchdown, Oregon.
Real good little trap play right up the middle for Drones as Oregon spreads out the defense of UCLA. Drones breaks 2 tackles and waltzes in.
Villegas for the extra point. The lead is down to 3. Let the rain dance begin. 8:26 left in the 3rd quarter in the Rose Bowl. The battle of the unbeatens in the Pac-10. Arishamami with the ball on the tee now for Oregon, and there's a new return man that they haven't tested back there. He's off to the right, top part of your screen. Mark Reynosa. He replaced Foster. It would not be surprising to see them give him an opportunity here and see what he's got. It'll be Lewis. 15, slants right, twists to the 29-yard line, and Eagle Eye Fouts deflected something on this turnover.
Well, I've thrown enough interceptions to know. Watch Chris Vandiver, number 39 here. It's a safety blitz from outside, but they're playing zone behind it. There's a safety from the right side, but watch Vandiver's left hand here. He's going to change the rotation of the ball. That makes it tough for Farmer. Watch him try to adjust. You have both wide receivers running into each other, and it's an easy pick for Timoni Joyner.
Keith Brown is the tailback. Craig Wallendy, the fullback, offset in this formation. Brown on the long reach handoff. Be blown dead at the 32-yard line. Michael Fletcher, and let's go to Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, understandably, the Oregon Ducks on the sidelines are very hyper right now. But the 2 most hyper players are Reuben Drones and Akili Smith. Smith came off and said, look up at the scoreboard, guys. It's only 3. Then Drones chimed in and said, we want it more.
Well, they certainly have the momentum. That's what an interception or 2 will do for you.
2nd and 7 for McNown. The blitz. McNown's going down at the 22-yard line. Aaron Chevrant.
This is Chevron's first sack of the year. Number 34 from the left side here You got to give Bob Foster, defensive coordinator, a lot of credit now for what he's calling against Cade McNown. McNown is 1 for his last 7 passes with 2 interceptions.
And suddenly Toledo's Bruins are under fire. 3rd down and a bunch. 16 with Justin Wilcox, the nickel man, on the field now for the Ducks. And Farmer going to the wrong side of the formation, corrects it. McNown goes deep. Paulie Dixon stretches out and can't hang on. Could not get to it. He was overthrown that time a little bit. And here comes the punt by Chris Saylor. Fletcher lets it bounce again. Saylor troubled by the pulled groin muscle. And Oregon comes out to work with half a field after a 28-yard punt. Akili Smith will try to give the Ducks their first lead of the game. We'll see. Timeout.
Both offenses are going to have their day, but to me, the team that plays the best defense, gets the best field position, or scores on special teams, will probably have the upper hand.
Well, here's field position, and Drones breaks free for him. 40, 35, 30-yard line. Rubin out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. So Reuben Drones, who put it down twice in the first half, had it yanked away once by Atkins. Simply coughed it up the second time. But the good ones never quit. And now he's over 100 yards. 103 yards with 17 carries. This, the last one.
And he goes 28 with this one, and this obviously the biggest one of the afternoon as Oregon continues to just put a stranglehold on the momentum.
Hartley slotted to the right. Akili looks option. Akili keeps it on the slant. Akili, first down Oregon to the 11-yard line.
And that's a true option there. He made the defense decide what you're going to do. Normally, the defense will attack the quarterback and force him to pitch. They kind of played it halfway that time, and Akili showed great patience here. Watch as he comes down the line of scrimmage. He'll stutter just a bit here, sees the hole open up, and then take it and have the strength and speed to pick up a first down.
We've got a timeout called by Oregon. We had a shot of Aliati, the defensive coordinator over on the UCLA sideline. He's got to feel like he's back in St. Louis and they're playing San Francisco right now. That's what's happening out there.
Oh, it could never be that bad.
Today, 141.
That's called scoring in a hurry and using all your weapons.
He's a youngster with a baseball player, Akili Smith. He's number 11. He played a couple of years in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. The curveball drove him back to football. And here he is now, throwing a high hard one for the Oregon Ducks. 24-21. Ducks trail it, got a first down inside. Drones gains about a yard with Pete Holland taking him on right there. The crowd at the Rose Bowl climbing into this one.
This game has kind of been a little bit different than the way we set it up, Brent. We talked about Oregon scoring quickly in their previous 5 games, and UCLA has kind of come back in the second half and put teams away and scored in bunches. Totally opposite today. UCLA jumped out early, and now it's Oregon that's fighting back.
It's 5 defensive backs for the Bruins against Akili and the Ducks in this set. Second down. And Akili fade, and the receiver tripped. Hartley tripped. That was Anderson, the defensive back, and Hartley trips as he tries to break free to the sideline.
That's a good job by Anderson, pushing him to the outside, and then they're going to just tangle up their feet a little bit there. That's a good non-call by the officials. But it was Anderson's push of Hartley to the outside that ruined that play. Good job.
Here's 3rd and 9. Fail here, and the Ducks will go for the tying field goal. Akili on that option short side. Nothing doing. Field goal time for Oregon. The Bruins make a defensive statement. That time it's Santi Hall.
Score one for Nick Galliotti and his defensive team, the Bruins here, doing a good job of staying on their feet and not giving Achilles Smith the hole we saw just a couple of minutes ago.
Nathan Villegas, a 27-yarder for a tie here. And we are all even. Oregon scores 10 unanswered to start the second half. 24 all with 4.5 minutes to go in the third. They drive Lewis into the end zone, and he'll take a knee in and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. Short drop McNown. He completes this one to Farmer. Puts it back in his hands for 9 yards over there. And that's the 5th catch of the day for Danny Farmer.
And Farmer had 5 catches last year against Oregon. And that's a real smart play call by Al Borges and Bob Toledo. Let's get back to our big guns here. Farmer's having a heck of a day so far. And let's get Cade going. Get him a couple of easy completions. Remember, the game's 24-24.
Borges calling the plays on the UCLA sideline. 2nd down and 1. Cade slips, ball high, and whistle on the play as Brown reached up for it. McNown going down on the stumble, and they're lucky they didn't turn it over right there.
Now, what happens sometimes, the offensive lineman will step back and step on the quarterback's feet. I would almost bet you that's what happens to McNown here. Yeah, right there. His center steps back on his left foot.
And McNown went down, attempting that handoff. The reason why it was whistled dead is that his knee was on the ground. So it is 3rd down and 5. So here's a passing situation. And again, UCLA a little short-handed with their wide receiver package, as they will be the rest of the season. Cade looking for somebody, can't find him, and he's going to take it off. 25, 1st down, turns it upfield. McNown slips free to midfield. He could not find an open receiver, and so he ran 25 yards, and there is Freddie Mitchell. A broken leg, the man he misses, the fastest Bruin of them all, out for the season.
This guy ain't too slow either, Brent. You know, he's got about 6 seconds to find a receiver, but I'm really impressed with the speed of Cade McNown after he finally determines that that's what he's going to do. Watch him run away from yellow pants and helmets.
Dan, who does he remind you of?
That looked a lot like Steve Young.
1st down and 10. At midfield. And McNown bending over like he has an upset stomach. Yes, he's throwing up on the field. At the 48-yard line, Cade McNown is throwing up right now, and they're asking for medical attention. They're dashing on out to the field. You could hear the collective groan of the crowd.
And I'm not sure we need to show a replay. Just take your word for it. But he is sick.
There is the backup, Drew Bennett. He's a 6'5" sophomore. And folks, this young man has a 39-inch vertical leap. Believe it or not, when they go to the Hail Mary at the end of the game, Drew Bennett trots out, and he's one of the wideouts for UCLA. And Cade McNown is being helped off to the far side. So after the 25-yard run, maybe he was shaken up over there when he went out of bounds. Took the hit. Taking some liquid. I think he was telling Toledo, I think I could tell by the body language, that he said he was going to be fine. Let's hope that that is indeed the case.
Certainly hope nobody gets tackled out there at one spot.
The center wants to get out for this spot as soon as he can. And Bennett will hand it off. No surprise there. And Brown slides through for a couple of yards. Vanderveer making the stop now for the Ducks, and Here comes Cade McNown, weighing a little less, but feeling much better. Thank you very much.
You know, I'm not sure I've ever seen that happen in a ball game before to a quarterback. I've had a lot of my own offensive linemen get sick on me in the huddle. You know.
I had a game in which that happened. Donovan McNabb got sick at a game once up in Syracuse and won the game, stayed in. His linemen surrounded him, though. They offered him a shield.
Cade McNown pulls it back now. Gonna go down that far sideline. Deflected, incomplete. Great coverage by Joyner, the young man who picked one off and set up a touchdown here earlier in the quarter. Farmer, the intended receiver.
Well, Timoni Joyner is really a backup to Bowman. But when he keeps making plays like this, is 4 times this year now that he's broken up the pass play. This is absolutely perfect coverage. Ball just a little bit underthrown. Farmer looking for a flag. Not getting it this time. 2 big plays for Timoni Joyner here in the 3rd quarter.
And Lewis checks in. McNown rolls left on 3rd down. Couldn't find anybody open. This time he will not scramble for a first down as he's punished. Out of bounds. Patu is there along with Vanderveer. Jackaroot, what's up down on that sideline, my friend?
Well, Brent, as you can see, Cade McNown is back, but it was not, the injury that he had was not a result of a hit. I asked the head trainer for UCLA. He said, no, he just has an upset stomach. I said, what did you do? He said, I gave him a glass of water, patted him on the back, and said, time to go back in.
He might have time for a Pepto now.
4th down now, and let's see what Saylor comes up with this time. Fletcher back. This one's going to go in the end zone and come out on the 20.
Shows you the kind of day it's been for Chris Saylor. He finally got off a beautiful punt, 50-yarder, but because it goes in the end zone, his net is only 30.
So he can go back to that bicycle and start pedaling away again.
So Drones in at running back. The fullback is Chris Young. Achilles Smith has a slot off to the right. Keeley. Oh, that was a great comeback pattern that time by Damon Griffin. He drove the corner deep and came back, and he hit him for 14 yards and an Oregon first down.
UCLA's got to be concerned with the amount of time that Achilles Smith is having to throw. When he can see the field and have that vision, and the runners, the pass receivers run routes that precisely, there's no stopping this offense.
Aliota's defense under fire. First down and 10. Oregon dominating the second half. Drones. Stopped at the 38-yard line. Well, we've talked about the connection between these two schools, and let's show you on the Home Depot coaches fact. 3 current UCLA coaches have coached at Oregon in their careers. Bob Toledo was the offensive coordinator. There you can see from 83 to 88. Borges, of course, Dan has told you that. He was the offensive coordinator at 95. And Nick Aliotta was the defensive coach for Rich Brooks and then became the coordinator when they stormed into the Rose Bowl behind Gang Green. There is Toledo and Aliotta on that far side. Second down and 6. Drones. Stuffed. Nothing doing. This will be 3rd and 5 as Kenyon Coleman makes a stop for the Bruins.
And adding to that coach's fact, Brent, the man that tutors Reuben Drones is Gary Campbell, who was a great running back here at UCLA. In fact, scored 2 touchdowns in that UCLA-Oregon game back in 1970 for the Bruins.
Here's 3rd down and 5. Short drop by Achilles, flashed high, incomplete. That was Ryan Rock. He's intercepted a pass in 3 consecutive games with excellent coverage that time, and they force a Bruin punt. It's interesting that wide open offensive battle has become a defensive tug of war all of a sudden.
It's a 3-step drop, too, and this is a great play by Rock. as Griffin has got to continue to the inside on that route. That's where Smith's expecting him to be. That's close to being an interception for number 33.
He backs inside the 20-yard line to return this punt. Josh Bidwell, after the 10-yarder's been hammering away. They came after him that time. Did not get there, and Rock is smacked. Breaks free and goes down at the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt and a -4 on the return, folks. It was all Oregon in the third quarter. Drone stepped into the end zone. Then the deflection and the interception by Joyner. And the Ducks with the tying field goal. Oregon 24, UCLA 24. Timeout. All tied at 24. We begin the final 15 minutes. From the Rose Bowl, Cade McNown on a 1st and 10 for UCLA. Completes over the middle for 5 yards on their last 6 possessions. 4 punts and 2 interceptions for the Bruins, who have been shut down by Oregon here, especially in the third quarter.
And the big question is, how much strength does the quarterback, Cade McNown, have? Looked good on that pass.
2nd down and 3. Borges looking at his play chart, wondering what he's going to have to do here. But remember, last Saturday night in Tucson, the Bruins exploded. 3 quick touchdowns and held Arizona scoreless to dominate that game. This team believes it's in better physical condition this year. And Oregon says you're going to have to prove it. And that was Vanderveer stepping right into that hole to stop Jermaine Lewis.
And you know, it's another tackle by an Oregon linebacker. Vanderveer was the 3rd leading tackler coming into the game. The 2nd leading tackler is Dietrich Moore, another linebacker, and Chevron in the middle leads the Ducks in tackles. That's the way defense should be played. The linebackers should be your leading tacklers. Not always the case.
Here is a 3rd and 1. McNown keeps it.
And this is going to be real close, too.
It was a long yard that he needed.
Looked like he decided to do that on his own, too. A lot
Fletcher
of time
is
at the line of
backing
scrimmage.
up like it's a punt situation. So they don't get it. The way Fletcher's backing off the line, he's going back to return a punt already. You can see from the football that clearly it is not a 1st down.
And the 5,000 to 10,000 Oregon Duck fans that are here at the Rose Bowl getting on their feet, loving it.
Now Chris Saylor's going to have to try it, and if ever you needed a strong punter and somebody to boom you out of difficulty, this is it. But the young man has struggled. Let's see what he comes up with here. He hit that one a little bit better. Fletcher with 2 scores off returns this year. Great coverage by the Bruins down at the 36-yard line. So we will take a timeout, and when you come back, it's Akili Smith, the young man from San Diego, ready to go back to work. Oregon and UCLA unbeaten and tied at 24. 12:26 to go. Here's Drones against Aliota's defense. Big hole, and Drones explodes. Atkins makes the stop, a 27-yard gain.
He had a 28-yard gain earlier in the third quarter, and it's the same type of play. Just a pull by Michael Clues on the counter, and a huge hole. Good job by Larry Atkins here, number 35, coming over, taking the angle and preventing a touchdown. Jed Weaver, 81, on the linebacker there that time, Trevor Turner, and that gets Drones in the secondary.
Drones, 21 carries, 137 yards now. 2 costly fumbles, but he's making up for it. Akili off a play fake, gonna go down the middle. He's got a touchdown, Oregon! Tony Hartley! 36 yards from Akili Smith.
Smith just threw that pass. He split the two safeties. Watch the safeties here, and watch the receiver come right down the field, right through them, and the line drive, this pass is right on the money. The safeties can't react before Hartley's in the end zone.
And they tack on the extra point to go up by 7. 63 yards in 2 plays. That took Akili and the Ducks 13 seconds. Tony Hartley, the junior from Los Alamitos, reacting like a thoroughbred as he barges into the end zone, and it's 31-24, timeout. Oregon takes its first lead, 31-24, on that catch by Hartley. Awamami elevated to the #1 kickoff man this week. UCLA last scored in this game with 7 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the second quarter. That's an eternity for this offense. Lewis barges out to the 26-yard line. Toledo's been in this situation before with this team. They had a great comeback during this streak in the Cotton Bowl against Texas A&M. Here's McNown to set the screen. Good call. Here's Brown. And the Ducks read it well. McLemore down at the 36. We told you about that Cotton Bowl. 16-7. Texas A&M at the half. Then it was McNown rallying back. They scored 22 points in the second half. They wanted 29-23 with 2 seconds to go. McNown did it all. He threw and he dashed for a score. And it was a tight end around with Neufeld. They win it. But they've got their hands full now. 2nd down and 3 against an inspired Oregon team. 4 down linemen for the Ducks, who keep bluffing with their backers. The 2 outside men come, pinch up tight, hole in the middle, and Brown on the roll across midfield, and he's finally wrestled by Eric Edwards at the 45, but after a 21-yard gain. The gamble does not pay off. They pinch with the outside backers, and Brown comes up the seam in the middle.
You live by the blitz, sometimes you die by it. The Oregon linebackers here are handled by that big offensive line of UCLA. And then Brown, he's looking for the end zone here, looking to cut back on Edwards. Edwards does a nice job of keeping him in bounds and then down.
Keith Brown, 86 yards and 16 carries today, and Jermaine Lewis will give him a blow. McNown and the Bruins are 45 yards away. McNown's got his man wide open. Paulie Dixon slips, goes for the end zone, down at the 3-yard line he goes. Butler saves the score. 1st and goal, UCLA.
And it looked like Paulie Dixon landed right on the football. He's hurting a little bit, but he was darn determined to get in the end zone. It's a skinny post route by UCLA. Perfect throw by Cade McNown, and Paulie Dixon is inside the corner and looking to get inside the end zone. Lands right on the football there.
Sualua and Nicolau into the defensive front for the Ducks. It's a goal line look. It's Lewis at the tailback spot. Lewis, touchdown! Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great college football game.
I think seeing that comeback in the Cotton Bowl last year may have inspired the Bruins. 4 plays, and they answer Oregon with their first touchdown in the second half.
Can't mess up an extra point when you're in a shootout like this. So in the first half, the wide man, Paulie Dixon, the tallest of their wide receivers, at 6'5", broke free for Cade McNown. He beat the corner, and then let 6 slip through his fingers. But with the pressure on and trailing by 7 in the 4th, this time, Holly Dixon not only makes the catch, but he sets up the touchdown that ties the score for UCLA. Timeout.
The Rose Bowl on a warm, sunny Saturday afternoon in Southern California. And Sailor wailing on one, getting stronger by the moment here at the second half.
Getting it done in a hurry, none faster than the last time out. 2 plays, they were in the end zone.
Here's Drones. Slants off that block for about 4 yards, and Tony White making the stop.
Well, you don't hear anything about either of these teams wanting to take time off the clock, do you? Control the ball, you know, make their defense rest a little bit.
It was about this time against Washington State in the game earlier this year, 4th quarter, when Aliotti was over there on that far sideline. I could just look at him out there making the defensive call. You see him like that? That's the kind of call he made that day. And then, folks, things turned a little gray. We'll show you that in a moment. In fact, they turned absolutely pitch black for my friend over there. Second down now. And Akili rolling right. Tries to throw. He just threw away. Incomplete. Now, here it is, folks. Let's show you what happened, Dan. Aliotti. He thinks he's got the play well defensed, and they start rolling toward the sideline. And watch what happens next over there on the UCLA sideline.
You got to have a good backpedal on the sidelines. Here he is right here. And you see the guys behind him, no place to go.
Oh, baby. And he was shaken up. In fact, little cartilage damage up there. But we told him sometimes you got a coach hurt down there on the sidelines. And look at him. He gets up, rubs himself off. And here he is today.
And his old coach, Bob Foster, says, you got to get your pads lower.
2 great friends dueling right now. 9:22. Akili drops it off incomplete over the head of Drones that time. He simply overthrew him. Coverage by Marcus Anderson. And that was not a well-thrown ball by Akili Smith. A little more difficulty with the touch pass than the downfield strike here today.
Well, he's just a little too high-strung. You know, he's still feeding off all that adrenaline. That 40-yard throw he made on a line to Tony Hartley for the touchdown. Sometimes it's hard as a quarterback to change from throwing the fastball to throwing the changeup.
Dan, we could feel that momentum almost switch again here in this game, and now the Ducks are forced to punt it with 9:18 to go. Bidwell hammers one back deep, and Ryan Rock has got it at the 25-yard line, slips a tackle, 35, coming to the sideline, 40. And out of bounds at the 44. UCLA with a 14-game winning streak. Oregon with a 7-game winning streak. Both unbeaten this season. Tied at 31. 62 points on the board. Short drop. McNown fires complete to Farmer. Puts it back in his hands. A gain of 8 and out of bounds.
And now not only is the momentum switching to UCLA, Brent, but the field position is in favor of UCLA. After that fine return by Rock, he sets his team up at midfield. One play, Oregon territory.
6 catches for 101 yards for Danny Farmer here today. McNown's go-to guy. Second down and short for the Bruins. Let's see if they take a shot. They're going to. Play action. McNown fires. Got Foley Dixon again. First down at the 27-yard line on 2nd and short. They use the play action, and McNown as a quarterback sets it up so well with his ball handling, and Foley Dixon was wide open for 19.
Yeah, 2nd and short, the linebackers have to respect that fake right there. They step up. And now Dixon gets inside of Joyner on the crossing route. Easy completion. But I love throwing the ball on 2nd and short.
2 wide outs, double tight, and a tailback in this package. Nothing doing. Oregon storms the walls. Jason Nicolau out of Tacoma breaks up that play.
gets another shot, and he'll get it.
Might get 3 or 4 more shots the way this one's going.
2nd and 8. Play fake by McNown, throw it back, and a great bit of defensive work by number 19, Justin Wilcox. His daddy was one of the best linebackers I ever watched in the NFL, and his son made Pops proud with that play right there. He would not be fooled by McNown.
Watch the blitz coming here, and then watch Wilcox come out here and make the play. This is a heads-up play by a former quarterback. In fact, Justin Wilcox and Cade McNown were quarterbacks at the same time in Oregon. The state of Oregon, that is.
3rd and 8. McNown on a check with me has got it. Blitz coming. Got his time. One-on-one high. Incomplete. Now what do we do with Saylor? We got a 4th down at the 25. And is Toledo going to try a long one? Yes, he is.
Saylor's career best came last year in Eugene against the Ducks, 56 yards, but he was healthy that day.
This ball's going to be put down at the 32, so here comes a 42-yard attempt. Again, as we pointed out, this leg has appeared to be getting stronger as the day wears on. So here's Chris Saylor. Blocked! Oregon blocks it. The Ducks block a field goal attempt by Saylor. 6:49 to go. Toledo and the Bruins are still in a dogfight. The Ducks will not go quack quack in the night.
In the circle is 91, Anthony Martin. He's 6'5" tall. Doesn't get much penetration, but watch the effort as he leaps with his right hand and swats that ball away. But this ball was kicked a little low by Chris Saylor.
Now Oregon's turn to come out, and here's Drones swinging wide to the left. First down, out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Kenyon Coleman in pursuit of him, but it's a 20-yard gain for Drones. A young man who fumbled twice in the first half, wouldn't quit, and now has rushed for 161 yards.
Brent, 3 runs in the second half for Drones, 28 yards, 27 yards, and that 20-yarder all came on first downs.
Hartley and Griffin are the wideouts for Akili. Drones, right side, collides, breaks off now. Slants hard toward the near side, and he'll go out of bounds at the 44-yard line. See if he's all right when he gets back up. He went down awkwardly when he came down.
It looked like he was trying to stay in bounds, but I bet he twisted that right ankle again.
It was an awkward move over there, and Darian Latimer, with the helmet on, would be his replacement.
Let's check it out here, Brent. Looked like he's just going to coast right on out of bounds here, but he shuts it down. He might have sprained his ankle when he made that first juke move to the inside and then sped to the outside.
After 11 yards, which means he will go back to the bench to see if they can retape it one more time. He's gained 172 yards here in the Rose Bowl on 24 carries today. And Jason Cooper comes in off the sideline. So it is not Latimer, it is Cooper lined up behind Chris Young. He's an excellent receiver. And they'll try him from scrimmage. And the Bruins jump him after a 1-yard gain. Ken Coker, the freshman from San Diego. So high above the Rose Bowl. The Goodyear Blimp Eagle has been providing these aerial pictures. At the controls, the pilot, Tom Mattis. 1998, the 100th anniversary of Goodyear, and the 73rd for its blimp flight.
You know, Brent, I piloted the blimp one time, and it's a wonderful thing. Not a lot of traffic, not a lot of speed. You just kind of cruise around, go up and down. You'd like it.
How was the meal?
The meal was terrible.
Latimer does check in.
Blimp food's terrible.
Second down and 10. Akili, deep pockets, got the middle, wants to go double team, deflected away. He gambled on Haynes, who was double covered that time, and Jason Bell, the corner, swats it away. Says, don't bring that stuff to my house right now. Thank you very much.
You gotta love defensive backs, don't you? They have no conscience, and they have no memory. This is a great job by the secondary of UCLA. Atkins has them short, and then at the end, Jason Bell comes over, watch his left hand, and he says, no, not here, not now.
Big defensive call for Aliati and the Bruins here. 3rd down and 10. Atkins, the free safety. Akili steps away from trouble and gets right back in, and he's down. Throws incomplete at the 45, and there's the intentional grounding. Ian Badejo had jumped Akili at the 45-yard line, and as he was going down, he threw the incompletion to save the loss on the play.
And that's almost an automatic call for the officials. Akili was in all kinds of trouble there.
No foul on the play. A receiver was in the area. No foul.
All right, they wave it off.
That's good debating skills by Akili Smith. Watch the pressure here. And he gets away from the first man, but it's this big guy right here that's going to bring him down. And we'll see where those receivers are. Yeah, I'm not so sure that's a good call because he threw the ball right about there. Excuse me.
Nevertheless, we play on. It's 4th down. Bidwell to punt it. 5:10 left in regulation, and Ryan Rock back deep now for the Bruins. Booms it high. Fair catch is the signal, and it's a bluff fair catch. On into the end zone, it'll come out on the 20, a 44-yard punt, and Lindy is set in front of Keith Brown in the eye for the Bruins. McNown off a play fake again, has time, gonna come deep one-on-one. Paulie Dixon, no, incomplete. Fletcher was rotating back quickly with Edwards that time.
Is Don Coryell in the house? That's what I want to know. Don Coryell is calling the plays here somewhere today. Another bomb, and this one is almost caught by Paulie Dixon. Good job by Fletcher flashing in front of the receiver, making it tough for number 82.
4th quarter is Cade McNown time. He's 6 of 8 for 86 yards after a 3rd quarter that he'd rather forget. 2nd down and 10. 4:56 is your time in regulation. McNown in trouble, sets the screen, and it is Keith Brown. And he is tackled at the 21 by number 23, Timoni Joyner, who's played a fine game for the Ducks defensively. Justin Wilcox into that backfield. And we've got a timeout that has been called by Oregon right now, and they'll check it over. The Rose Bowl is our setting. We'll be right back. Beth Giuliani and Kathy Skinsky leading the way, and all of the cameramen we've had here this afternoon. It has been a wonderful show, and so many times you come around a football game, and after you hype it up all week long, it's a disappointment. This one has not been. Here we go. 4:21 now. 3rd down for Cade McNown and the Bruins. They need 7 yards to keep the series going. Oregon shows blitz and backs back out, but they did get Cade to change the play. Now he fires incomplete, and Paulie Dixon lets it slip away again. It was a 1st down pass. He had him right there for a 1st down. He drops it, and the Bruins must punt.
1st down and maybe more. It's on the hook route against Eric Edwards on the outside here. He's thinking catch and thinking run. Well, you got to forget about that run part of it and make sure you got the catch. Now he's looking for a place to hide.
Here's Chris Saylor in to punt it. And Fletcher, remember, he has returned 2 punts for touchdowns for the Ducks and had a 3rd one called back this year. Low drives Fletcher back to the 25-yard line. Looks for the middle. Fletcher could not shake free. Fine coverage by the Bruins. Down at the 36-yard line at the 4-minute mark. Now, Oregon has used 2 of its 3 timeouts here in the 2nd half. The Bruins have all 3 left. in this game. Something to think about here with 4 minutes still ahead of us.
And the other thing you start to think about is, what does Oregon need to win this ball game? They need a field goal. They need to move the ball 30 yards to get Nathan Villegas within his range.
Now prowls the sideline while his defense will try to get it back. Jason Cooper is the Oregon running back with Drones injured. Here's Cooper, show to burst. 45 and out of bounds. Very close to an Oregon first down. Larry Atkins, the free safety, takes him out.
You know, he's having a heck of a game for Oregon. His up front is number 74, Michael Clues. We've seen him lead the way for Reuben Drones a couple of times along the left side. That time he opened the way for Jason Cooper on the right side. There he is, big number 74. The only 300-pounder on that offensive line for Oregon.
1st and 10. Two wideouts to Achilles left. Comes back with Cooper. 2 yards near midfield. Marcus Anderson, the corner from Long Beach, making the stop.
Hey, well, we've got a time. I want to wish your baseball team, the San Diego Padres. I know you and your wife love to follow that baseball team. A lot of luck tonight against the New York Yankees. I think it's going to be a great World Series.
I got 2 words for all you Yankee fans.
Oh, please.
The first is Kevin, and you know the second is Brown.
Oh, folks, do I take it to him or we'll just let it? Come on.
And you know the other thing is David Wells. He's a Padre fan, too. Yeah. At the Point Loma High School in San Diego.
2nd down and 8. Jason's got an alley, 1st down, inside the 40-yard line. And again, Anderson makes the stop after an 11-yard gain. And so the sophomore tailback comes in and starts to pick up the slack here in the absence of Drones.
Well, watch, it's another pull by Michael Cruz, number 74. He's going along with the fullback, Chris Young, and they just blow open another huge hole on the perimeter of the Bruin defense. But have these teams changed uniforms from last week and earlier in this season? This is what UCLA usually has done in the second half of games, rely on their offensive line to overpower their opponent. Oregon's doing that here today.
And Reuben Drones returns. 1st and 10. Jason Cooper with a wonderful relief job. Now Drones pounds nowhere. Bruins were ready and fumble! That's his 3rd of the game. And coming up with it is number 51, Tony White. Reuben Drones turns it over for the 3rd time. The big turnover for Aliata's defense.
And the question is, why take out Jason Cooper when he's rolling and he's hot? You put in a running back that's fumbled twice already. He's got a bad ankle, and he takes a shot there and gives the Bruins a heck of a shot at winning this ball game now.
Now let's see what McNown and the Bruin attack can do. 2:39 to go. Deadlocked at 31. Play fake a little right. Good runner. Looking downfield. Who's going to go for it all? Farmer! Got it! Farmer! Touchdown UCLA! Would you believe it? 60 yards. McNown to Farmer. Holy Toledo!
There he is, the comeback kid, Kate McNown. The heck was setting up the field goal kicker. Bobs away.
Now Saylor. It's a 7-point UCLA lead.
McNown's going to come out here on the rollout, get away from the pressure of Oregon after the fake here, and now he sees he's got what he wants. One-on-one coverage, Farmer at 6'4" against Eric Edwards. Look at this concentration. Lets the defensive back go by and then puts the ball across the end zone. This is good coverage by Eric Edwards. with just an exceptional play by Danny Farmer. Not so sure that's a touchdown, though. Ball was not across the plane when Farmer's knees hit the ground.
A little bit short. That ball should have been down at about the 2-yard line. Nevertheless, Farmer, 7 catches, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Cade McNown has thrown 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And Saylor out of bounds. So that gives up valuable field position. Plenty of time for Akili Smith. This one is far, far from over.
2 things in the last 2 plays. If Farmer's ball is ruled down at the 1-yard line, UCLA can take the rest of the time off this clock before they either go for the field goal or just punch it in. That's clearly not a touchdown. So that hurts UCLA in a way. And then Saylor sails one out of bounds. You talk about a gutty performance by a kicker, but he may not, it should not be playing today with that bad leg. He sets up Oregon 35-yard line.
The time it has taken Oregon to score. The last touchdown for UCLA took all of 2 seconds. Ball at the 35-yard line. Here's Akili. He's going to come back for the strike. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. And the Bruin defensive backs are now jumping on Griffin. They are not giving number 5 any daylight. They know he's the most dangerous. Aliotti barking out instructions from the far sideline to the defense. Ian Badejo passes it along. And upstairs, Tedford with the play having been sent down to Bellotti. Here's your 2nd down and 10 now. Chris Young backs up. Play fake. Akili in trouble. Steps away from it. Got the far side. Griffin, he's hit. Penalty flag, that's interference. 15 yards and a 1st down as Jason Bell whacked him, no doubt about it.
Now what they're going to call is his right hand. He made the play with his left hand. Here he is right here. It's a nice play by Smith, buying time, and a good route, and good recognition that your quarterback's in trouble by Griffin. The left hand's fine. It's that little bump there that gets the yellow flag. There's that right hand, and that's what the official sees, because the official is right in front of these guys in blue shirts.
Let me set the scene for you now. 2:19 on the clock. Oregon must have a touchdown. They are down to their final timeout, and they're working with half a football field. Toledo's Bruins trying to hang on, and Drones is back in the backfield for Oregon. Akili pulls out to the left. Looks for daylight, fires to that sideline, and this time he's got the completion, and it's a 1st down. Ball is caught at the 36-yard line. It's a 13-yard gain, and Bobby Nero. So now 36 yards away for Akili, and 2:11 with 1 timeout remaining.
And because Nero went out of bounds, or he didn't get out of bounds, they're going to say that he was his momentum was stopped and the clock will roll. The clock's really not all that important today, though.
It is so hard to blitz Akili because he can roll and move so quickly. He doesn't stand still. In the face, fires, incomplete. Facing a savage rush. He gets the pass off, but it's incomplete, and it will now be 2nd and 10.
His offensive line has done a good job protecting him. No sacks today, but it's also his ability to move around in the pocket. This time he feels the heat coming right in his face, and he's going to let the ball go just a little bit too early for his receiver.
Right side incomplete. It's 3rd and 10 for Oregon. 1:46 to go.
Not all that important that it's 3rd and 10 because Oregon obviously has to go for it on 4th down. So that means Bob Toledo and Nick Gagliotti and Jeff Tedford have to sweat out at least 2 more downs.
Remember Jed Weaver, the tight end. He scored a touchdown for Oregon. Was able to cross the field for them. They need to keep a drive going here at 1:46 and 3rd down. Akili steps away from trouble. What he can do beautifully, but down he goes. He's crushed by Todd McBride coming backside, and it's down to a final play for the Oregon Ducks.
Well, McBride is right up here, and he's going to come on the blitz. Initially, he's blocked, but he doesn't give up. The tight end Weaver takes him there, pushes him 5 yards behind the quarterback, but that's great effort by Todd McBride to get the first sack of the day on Akili Smith.
And Ruben Drones is down at the 47-yard line. He crumpled over, and he is down.
And now he's got Oregon feeling sick.
Here it is, 4th and 16. The Ducks must reach the 25-yard line with 1:07 to go. They've got only 1 timeout. Akili knows it. Fires far side. Griffin goes up. Griffin got it. Oh, Griffin juggles it and makes a wonderful catch. At the 21-yard line. 58 seconds to go, and the Ducks are still alive.
Jason Bell flashed right in front of him. Here's Bell. And it's that post corner route that Griffin runs so well. But Bell was ready for it, just couldn't make the play on the ball. Unbelievable concentration by Damon Griffin. Another tight spiral by Akili Smith, and the Ducks are still alive.
Latimer is the running back, 1st and 10. Here's Akili. In trouble, sprints over to the left. Is he going to go out of bounds to stop the clock? Yes, he is, short of the 1st down at the 52nd mark.
But right now, you are in the red zone, and the reason they call it the red zone is because it's an alert for the offense that, hey, this is where it's important we make sure of our pass protection. The defenses like to blitz in this area of the field, and this is where we have to make sure that we read the blitz and execute properly. These are the 2 best teams in the nation in the red zone.
So Akili on 2nd down and 50 seconds. They're going to go for the 1st down. They barge right straight ahead with Latimer inside the 10. The clock is stopped. Less than 10 yards to go. Oregon needs a touchdown and the extra point to take this one to overtime. Atkins makes the save for Toledo's Bruins.
Now look back and see how important that kickoff out of bounds was that gave Oregon possession at the 35-yard line.
Here's 1st and goal for Akili. Bruins press, short drop, slant. Got it complete, but Griffin short of the end zone by 2 yards. Now down to 30 seconds. Clock is still moving now. And they'll use their final timeout. And that could affect the outcome of this game. Not having one in your pocket right now, and you're 2 yards short of the end zone. Oh, baby. How quickly things have changed throughout this afternoon in the Rose Bowl. The fumble, the 3rd by Drones. Farmer goes the distance from McNown. Then it's 4th and 16. Then the juggle by Griffin, and UCLA has to face this Oregon attack one more time.
Damon Griffin having a great game. No better catch than that one he just made on the juggle. 8 receptions for 110 yards. And that was a good use of that final timeout by Akili Smith because his team's tired. They need to catch their breath. They also have the ability now to run a couple of plays. Here's this the next catch by Griffin that gets him down to the 2-yard line. But now, because the field is so much smaller, and because Akili Smith can roll out so well, they can use the clock. They don't have to worry about timeouts. He can throw the ball away if the play isn't to his liking.
69 points on the board. And Oregon looking for more. Needs 7 to force overtime. Out of timeouts, they've got a second down. Remember Akili on a roll to the wide side of the field. He is an excellent runner. He's strong, he's fast.
They definitely have the ball on the left hash mark, which is the right hash mark for Akili Smith, rolling to the right.
Akili rolls, backside pressure, fires, Griffin got it. Touchdown, Oregon! An extra point away from a tie. Damon Griffin.
His 9th catch of the day, Damon Griffin with a great route. We've seen him make all types of great moves today, but he wasn't fooled. The defensive back, Jason Bell, was right on him. Perfect throw and a clutch catch under pressure.
Now it is up to Nathan Villegas. Deadlocked. 22 seconds left. It took UCLA 2 seconds to score the last time. Can they pull a miracle here at the end of regulation, or are we headed for overtime?
I want overtime. I don't know about you. I don't want this one to ever end.
Reynosa and Lewis, the deep men. UCLA wants Lewis to handle it. And Oregon will go to a short man. And the Bruins have got the ball at the 42-yard line with 17 seconds to go. That's given them pretty good field position in the situation. Remember, a field goal win this game right now. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't take that one deep, Dan.
I agree with you, Brent. I hate that short kickoff. But when I was in Cade McNown's position, I loved it because I want that field position. Only 17 seconds to go, but McNown has all his timeouts. But the problem is this guy. Saylor has got a bad right leg.
Well,
and I don't think he can kick a long field goal to win it.
Maybe they'll just find Farmer and forget about it.
What am I talking field goals for? I'm sorry, I lost my head.
UCLA is playing on a 98-yard field and Oregon 100, judging from that last touchdown call. So here it is with 17 seconds to go. Shotgun look, McNown. Pretty good time. Gonna fire one deep. Polly Dixon, and the quarterback's got it. The backup Drew Bennett's got it. The Hail Mary are inside the 5. The decision to kick short now is a horrible one. Drew Bennett, we told you earlier in the game, with a vertical leap of 39 inches, makes a 52-yard reception.
McNown is going to look to his receiver on the left side, then back to the right, now back to the left, and this is what he wants. He's got 2 receivers and only 1 defensive back there. McLemore can't make the play on the quarterback.
Right away, they'll kick it. 21 yards. Can they block this one? Here's Saylor. Saylor's got it out. No! He missed the field goal. Oregon's still alive. We'll go to overtime. Can you believe it? Let's take a deep breath. And let's come back. We're tied at 38. You gotta love it.
We want to go into this goal.
That one right down there. Yeah. Okay? That's where we're going to go. So you guys turn your backs there.
So Akili Smith and Oregon handles the ball first. And this, the catch by Drew Bennett. We told you they would use him in the Hail Mary situation. And then it was all up to Chris Saylor. Just a little bit longer than an extra point. And he pulled it wide left. Back with overtime after these messages from our ABC stations.
76 points and 989 yards of offense here this afternoon. UCLA with 532 and Oregon with 457. All right. Oregon's got the first possession from the 25-yard line. Keely Smith in trouble. Ian Badejo rolling hard, takes him down at the 35-yard line. He plays with his hair on fire. The Oregon coaches said he was ablaze that time.
And that's a compliment as he comes through with the second sack of the day against Keely Smith. That's just pure desire as Ian Badejo had to chase down a very elusive Keely.
Second down, 19 yards for the first down. Remember, in overtime, you can also move the chains. Keely in trouble again. Ian Badejo forced him out of the pocket, and he's ridden down. Ian Badejo ablaze.
Yeah, the problem now for Oregon is can they even get in field goal range? If they don't score here, UCLA gets the ball in the 25.
No. The problem there is they don't want to be in field goal range. They're going to pop in a touchdown. Here comes third down now. Aliotti getting great play out of Brendan Ian Badejo. Third down. Keely fires Griffin incomplete. One down left. And then it'll go back to the 25-yard line, and the Bruins will have a first down.
Shows you how important it is to win the toss and be able to defer and show your team exactly what you need based upon what your opponent does in overtime. Guy's a little animated on the sidelines, isn't he?
He's a great picture. The calm one. Oh, what the heck? You know, everybody's got to play for 4th and 22. Now Keely Smith. The Ducks have not been denied all day. Bad exchange. Picks it up anyway. Eludes one. Near midfield. Fires down to the middle. Intercepted by UCLA. UCLA's got it on interception. They can score on it, but if he goes down, it'll come down to the 25. 25-yard line as Ryan Rock makes it 4 consecutive games in which he has intercepted a pass, and he has to wait until overtime in the 4th one.
Well, Keely fumbles the snap from center right here. He picks it up, and now he has lost all his bearings, but not his athletic abilities. He gets away from Tony White right there. Ill-advised throw at best, but why not? It's 4th and 22. Give your team a chance to make a play. Unfortunately, or fortunately for UCLA, Ryan Rock is the man who makes that play.
Now there's lots of room ahead for UCLA on the road to Tempe, Arizona. They can make the next gas station breezing if they can close it out here.
And you notice they put the ball towards the right side of the field. This gives McNown the chance to run to the left on a rollout throw with his left hand.
And Brown is his tailback. Brown to the middle, slashes left, breaks a tackle, and busts it for about 7 yards. Powerful run for junior Keith Brown. Saylor hoping to get another chance, wanting to erase the ugly memory of how regulation ended. Borges calling the offense over there on the side, has Cade McNown. 2nd and 4, and there's Foster calling the defensive plays for the Ducks. Brown again, middle opens. Brown, first down, UCLA to the 12-yard line. They're 12 yards away. McLemore makes the stop.
It's that huge offensive line taking control. You've got the 300-pounder Ferris, Gezzy, 290, Sean Stewart, the 295 center, Andy Myers, 315, and Brian Polak, 325. And they're just saying, here it comes, Oregon, right down your throat.
Walendi is the fullback.
First down with Brown and McNown, and it'll be Walindi who gets a rare call, and the Ducks were not fooled. Second down and long as UCLA attempts to ambush them, with Walindi getting a rare carry, and Vanderveer jumps it along with Chevron.
Also moving the ball in front of the goalpost. I guarantee you they're not going to move the ball to the left side, because that's where Saylor missed from just moments ago.
Right down Broadway from where he is right now. Second down for McNown. Here's Brown, struggling, battling toward the 10-yard line. About a yard where his forward progress was stopped, and no more. Saul Patu.
What could possibly be going through Chris Saylor's mind? Here he's playing hurt with the worst injury a kicker can have, a groin injury to his right leg. We saw him injured in pregame warmups, and it hasn't gotten better.
Third down and 8. Walindi again barges right straight ahead, close to the 5-yard line, and another chip shot coming up for Saylor. A chance to redeem himself. The young man is on the cover of the program here today at the Rose Bowl, and now he has a chance to erase the memory of this miss completely. He's had one blocked here today, missed the 21-yarder, and made one from 25. Here comes a 23-yarder to stay unbeaten. Yes, UCLA, 15 in a row, longest winning streak in school history. The Ducks lose a heartbreaker in overtime.
College football at its finest. Two great football teams that have bright futures.
The Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. The scene of one of the great games in recent memory. And Chris Saylor, who missed one at the end of regulation, wins it in overtime. 41-38. UCLA by a field goal. Agony on the Oregon sideline. But across the way, pure ecstasy. Win number 50 in a row for UCLA. A team on a drive and a mission. Not wanting to look back until they reach Tempe, Arizona on the night of January 4th. Right now, let's send you to John Saunders and Todd Blackley.